best part of the song. Thank you guys for all coming out tonight. I see a lot of other groups are selling merchandise. I'm going to be selling loose cigarettes in the parking lot after the show. My name is Preston Smith. I am a student. I'm here from Texas. I'm getting ready to graduate soon. Every time I see a family member, they always ask me the same question. They say, what are you going to do after graduation? And I do have a well-scripted answer. It's a bold-faced lie. You can't really look them in the eyes and tell them your only plans after graduation are not to overdose on ibuprofen and try to masturbate at least once a day. I'm getting a degree. I have a degree in political science in Middle Eastern studies. And I'm from Texas. I have a very conservative family. Anytime something happens on the news, they always try to field my response to make sure I haven't converted to jihad. Yeah, did you see that thing on the news about Syria? How does that make you feel? And I always tell them, I was like, don't worry, I can't convert to jihad. I love pork rinds too much. Does anyone here know a one-upper? You know someone who one-ups? Yeah, I know someone who's totally worse. It's bad. Some people are fighting off last night. I'll give them one. More recently, I love what Last Night Fable does. It's a good community organization. I've been trying to get into more things to give back to the community, more philanthropic work. Next week, I'm planning a bar crawl to raise both money and awareness for alcoholism. It's really cool. We're the only bar crawl where people crawl. That's bad. I'm sorry, guys. Don't worry, I'm not that depressed. I will admit I did have some bad luck recently. It was the end of 2016. I went to Taco Bell at like midnight, and I always order the same thing. It's the cheapest thing on the menu. It's not because I'm broke, it's because I like it. It's the $1 burrito. And I went in, it was about 12:30 at night. Admittedly, I looked kind of chummy. But I saw the guy, I was getting ready to take my food home, and I saw him putting it in the bag, so I was like, I'm gonna go meet him halfway. So I stand up, he puts the food in the bag, turns and looks at me, he's me up and down, turns around, grabs 2 bags of chips, puts them in there, hands me my food with a look that says, I'm rooting for you, brother. Like, I thought my life was more depressing before I went to Taco Bell, but how bad is your life when you get pity from an employee working 12:30 on a Monday night? Yeah, but hey, it's a new year, it's 2017. I'm so happy. Honestly, it can't get worse than 2016. Over the winter holiday, I had the courage. I came out to my parents. I looked them in the eyes. I said, "Yeah." I looked them in the eyes. I said, "Mom, Dad, I'm a necrophiliac." And they took it pretty well. There wasn't a lot of resistance, which is what I'm used to. But it makes the career choice of a mortician just understandable. That's one thing. No, it doesn't matter what you do in your life, that if a mortician wants to fuck you, it's gonna happen. Like, donate as much money to charity as you want. It's not gonna change it. Yeah, that's why I want to burn. I want to burn literally and in the afterlife. I took a long vacation. I took a road trip across the country. I wanted to see America, and I was in the Grand Canyon. I saw a guy. He was about my age. He had a T-shirt on that said George Bush did 9/11. I have a problem with that shirt. I'm not here to argue whether or not the government had an inside hand in 9/11. They did. But I have problems because that guy believes that George Bush took 16 Black Ops agents, put them on 4 airplanes, put 2 into New York City, 1 into DC, 1 into a field in Pennsylvania, made him look Arabic through a combination of what they did to Robert Downey Jr. movie Tropic Thunder and a fake beard. So what I'm trying to say is Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld did 9/11. Donald Rumsfeld, okay. The audience is a little bit young tonight. I realize that. I have a litmus test to determine the age of the audience. How ironic would it be if a space shuttle coming back to Earth crash landed in an elementary school named after Christy McAuliffe? For those of you who don't know who she is, she was the teacher that was selected to go into space. Sorry, to almost go into space. Oh. That's the joke that you boo at, not the necrophiliac one. You people are weird. Speaking of weird, have you guys ever gotten so high you ask a uniformed police officer if they're undercover? Like I haven't, it was a friend of mine, he did it. Admittedly, I do smoke pot. And when I do, I love talking to cops. Oh my God. It's an amazing rush. I haven't done it recently. I discovered the best rush in the world. I'm dating someone right now. I met their parents for the first time recently. I didn't know what a rush was until I shook the hand of someone using the same hand that was no more than 30 minutes ago, wrist deep in their child. Like, hello. I own them. Sorry, is that weird? Is it weird to talk about fisting? Sorry, and I know kind of the audience is younger. Not a lot of people know what fisting is. A lot of people think that at one point, like you're just punching butthole, but you go in like this and then you make the fist. And if you're unsure or have any questions, turn on CNN and watch what Donald Trump is doing to the country. You guys so good. Look at it, good form. I try not to get political. Honestly, I hate everyone. I hate Republicans, Democrats, conservative liberals. Admittedly, I hate the liberals the most because they're the most annoying. I'm a card-carrying Democrat, guys. Really, we need to get together. We just need to be like a serpent and strike, like Mitch McConnell. No one? God, the public schools failed you guys. I know people that are very proud that they voted for Trump. But even people who support him, I don't think there was anyone after the election who was happy about it. This whole election is kind of like having sex with someone that's really ugly. About halfway through, you realize all you want to do is get to that finish line, but as soon as you do, you ask yourself, what happened? What have I done? What is all this orange stuff on me? I love that report that came out that said Donald Trump likes pissing on his prostitutes. There wasn't like a single person in the country who didn't respond like, I could totally see that. Like, I'm gonna wait for the proof, but like, yeah, like totally. And I think I'm the only person that finds the irony in the fact that the one man fucking our country has a neck that looks like a vagina. Like, he loosens his tie and it queefs. I just had a one-year anniversary of doing stand-up in Fayetteville, so 53 weeks ago. Yeah. I started this doing kind of a therapy, kind of get some creative thoughts out, but somehow I'm more depressed now. Like, have you hung out with comedians? Like, you feel really good about yourself. It's like watching The Sopranos and be like, yeah, well, I'm not that rich, but I also didn't get stabbed for cocaine. Like, it's low column A, low column B lifestyle. I invited my mother for the first time. She came out, she saw my show, and she's the only person in my family who hadn't seen it. And I kind of wish I had someone to videotape her reaction, because that night I learned that, yes, she can be more depressed in me as a son, but anything's possible through Jesus, am I right? Yeah, if someone filmed her reaction, I imagine it looks like something like Bernie Sanders at the DNC. You know, like fighting back tears, he has to be there contractually, and all of his problems started with one millennial. That's my mother. When I was younger, it was very interesting. I, for the longest time, thought that I was a male trapped in the body of a female. And then I was born. Okay, that's my time. Everyone give it up for Houston Hughes.